Hey Shawtys,
this is Brittany
and Lauren,
and welcome to our podcast where you can have whatever you like. We said you can have whatever you like. Yeah.
You look like a cloud.
We do look like a cloud. I love our cloud. Are we gonna start doing the Bring It On?
I think that might be the next move.
I'm still big red.
Oh, you definitely are.
You don't want anyone calling, you know?
Yeah, it's Friday.
It's Friday. We're busy. Okay, so everything's working, right?
Yep. Except us.
Well,
we're not dysfunctional.
Welcome to the Dysfunctional Podcast. How many lawyers does it take to start a podcast?
You ready to do our welcome?
What do we do first? And take 397. Hey, Shawtys. Welcome to Whatever You Like podcast, presented by your hosts, Brittany and Lauren.
Hey, Shawty. Today's mysterious episode, Kiss Me Through the Phone, has been a highly anticipated episode. Before we reveal how the code name relates to the episode topic, let's give a shout out to the song itself.
Let's party.
Lauren, drop the beat.
Me? Hit it, Brittany. I don't have any beats to drop.
I'll drop the beat.
You know that I miss you. I wanna get with you tonight, but I cannot, baby girl, and that's the issue. Girl, you know I miss you. I just wanna kiss you, but I can't right now. So baby, kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I'll see you later on. Kiss me through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. See you later. Baby, I know that you like me. You're my future wifey. Soldier boy, tell him, yeah, you can be my Bonnie. I could be your Clyde. You can be my wife. Text me, call me, and need you in my life. Yeah, all day, every day I need you. And every time I see you, the feeling's getting deeper. I miss you, I miss you. I really want to kiss you, but I can't. 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 2.
Up those numbers, but it's fine.
We tried.
I just get so excited with the 6, 7 part.
That was so great. Hope y'all had a blast with us. Blast from the past.
That was fun.
That was fun. Love that.
I've been waiting to sing this song for a while. This has been in the works.
Such a great throwback.
And let's do our thing. The 200 words or less.
You know how we do.
Let's drop that
200 words or less beat.
I don't know the whole dropping thing today. I'm dropping the ball.
Dropping low.
Well, maybe because I drop my phone a lot. I do need you to go first this time if your commentary is about the fact that we didn't know who Sammy was. Who's featured in this song. So Lauren did a deep dive on Sammy because they're like, who? I couldn't tell even in the music video which one was Soldier Boy and which one was Sammy because I feel like they have a similar vibe going
they do
on.
have a similar vibe.
And so Lauren determined the difference. Lauren, tell us.
Welcome to the class. What I will say about this song is it's a really, really good throwback song. I remember listening to it. I'm assuming we were in high school when it came out.
2008 is when it came out. I was in high school.
So I was probably entering high school. But I remember jamming out to my car with this song on, and it was such a vibe. And I love Soldier Boy. Like,
he's such a big part of our generation.
I love that man.
Sure.
But I hadn't watched the music video in a really long time. And growing up, I think I just listened to the song on CD or whatever. And so when I went to the music video and I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, there's 2 men in the video. And it didn't dawn on me that they were 2 different men. I thought Soldier Boy just was having a play-by-play or something.
Well, I thought that he sang too for some reason.
Me too.
And maybe he does, but I couldn't tell if it was him singing and then Sammy was rapping.
And then Brittany's like, who's Sammy? It's featuring Sammy. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I looked at the title and it said featuring Sammy. And I was like, I don't know who that man is. Who's Sammy? I've never heard of him before.
It's the big mystery.
It's the big mystery. Like, who's Jim?
Who's Jim? Yeah, exactly.
It's the second mystery that we're solving for all of you guys. So I had to figure out who Sammy was because then I was determined.
It was the T on Sammy.
Music video, just so we all know. Sammy is the one without the eyebrow cut off. Soldier Boy is the other one. And Soldier Boy eventually in the music video, he has a giant Soldier Boy chain to figure out who he is. But Sammy is the other man in the music video. The other man. He's not the important one. But it was interesting because then I started researching Sammy, and apparently he's an R&B singer that I've never heard of. But I did read that his most famous song that people know of is Kiss Me Through the Phone. Yeah. But he also has other songs when he was apparently really young that are on YouTube that we found.
We saw the video. He looked, he was 10.
And that was apparently his debut into the music world.
Comments were like, oh yeah, this is 90s stuff. And I was like, literally 1990.
It didn't cross my desk. I was a big Soldier Boy fan, but none of his music crossed my desk. Because then I started researching what are his popular songs and I started playing them, and I've never heard any of them, but they did have millions of views on YouTube. YouTube. So I give them that credit. And then a lot of the comments were like, where the millennials at? I've never heard of this man. We're not here, apparently.
I love his work in Kiss Me Through the Phone. He's a great.
That's all he's known for in my mind.
And that's all he needs.
He had that one hit. But I will say, I started researching Sammy. There's not much about him out there. I was trying to figure out like what is about him and what he's been up to. But apparently he keeps his personal life really private from what I've read. And he hasn't been doing a lot since back then. But I guess the mystery of who Sammy is, he's another R&B singer that I've never heard of. There you go, guys.
There's somebody in the music industry, guys, like Jim. Because speaking of Jim, this is part of the commentary on my end, is
Jim did not produce this song.
Jim did.
Oh, he
Jim
didn't.
produced and wrote this song, co-wrote it. Yeah, and
I'm
co-produced.
dead. It always leads
I
back
was
to
literally
Jim.
dying. I couldn't wait to tell you this. A little piece of information. Jim and Sammy, they're just hanging out. They're best friends.
Podcast since day one has been about Jim, and now we're just taking it back.
I know. It's
That's
like full
crazy.
circle.
That's wild. Jim keeps appearing, and we're going to keep tagging him until he notices us. Apparently, Sammy and Jim are two people we just learned about. So if any of y'all know or knew Sammy, can you let us know? Because I'm dying to know if someone
Sammy
out
okay?
there. But if any of you heard his music prior to us talking about him, can you text me and let me know?
What's your favorite Sammy song?
Can you write it in the YouTube comments? Because I've never heard of this man.
Well, apparently, Soulja Boy was trying to get Chris Brown to do that part.
Oh, Chris Brown would have been great.
Yeah, but I think he turned it down, is what Wikipedia was saying. So
Okay.
I don't know the reason behind that. But then apparently Sammy was trying to do something with DJ Khaled and then
Okay.
ran into Soulja Boy, and Soulja Boy was like, hey, why don't you just sing this for me? That's how that happened.
Because I did read that Soulja Boy was really looking for an R&B singer, someone who had a good vote to be on the song. Because I guess it wouldn't make the song what it is without that. I know Chris Brown's controversial, but I think he would have been a great,
Did they
person on the
ever do
song.
a collab together? Maybe Chris Brown just didn't like him.
I've never heard of a Chris Brown and Soulja Boy song. But also, has Soulja Boy made any new music?
Well, in K-pop, he has. He's on a K-pop song.
Interesting. You did tell me that. What's the song?
It's BTBT
Okay.
by B.I.
Okay, a lot of beats.
But it's featuring Soulja Boy. It's really good. I love it. But that's like the most recent. I mean, I'm sure he still works on songs.
What's his real name? Do we know?
I do not know his real name. When I was trying to figure out who Sammy was, because they look similar, and I was like, well, maybe both of him.
I thought they were both.
And like his real name's Sammy.
Sammy.
I was expecting you to laugh at me whenever I was like, hey, by the way, I have a question for you.
And who's Sammy?
Yeah.
And I'm
You're like, what?
I don't know. I've never heard of this man.
That Jim was also involved in this track.
Jim and Sammy bringing it back.
And apparently, this is another thing I saw besides the fact that he had asked Chris Brown to be featured on it. He then, whenever I guess he turned it down, he tried to do it himself with autotune.
Oh my god!
But he said it was garbage. So he needed someone
Well, yeah,
else.
Soulja Boy's not like a.
I guess he's really not a singer. I know he's mainly a rapper, but
Yeah.
yeah, trick, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love that song.
What's that song again?
Yeah. That's what it's called.
I haven't heard that song in years.
Another commentary I wanted to say is about the phone number that's listed.
Yes, I said to Brittany, I'm like, I wonder if anyone's called that number.
Okay, so apparently he intentionally put it in there. It's supposed to be like an interactive element. And I think someone on Reddit said they remember calling it back in the day. And then the next day they started getting spam texts about Soulja Boy updates that just like never ended.
That would be my luck. I call it and I think Soulja Boy is going to answer and I just start getting promotional text messages.
But then another comment was saying about how the phone number was similar to somebody's actual number in England or something. And so this family just kept getting calls a lot.
What if your number was similar to that and you were getting calls? Should we call it live?
I was going to say, yeah, we should. Okay, besides the star 67 678 999 You know what? I think I have this wrong. 8212.
Don't you from the lyrics?
I do, but I don't know where they went.
What do you mean?
8212.
See what happens. This is an Atlanta, Georgia number.
He's from Atlanta. It says user busy. Dang.
Dang.
That's
so I guess that might
unfortunate.
not be like real number anymore.
Well, that would make sense.
You
Very
know
disappointing.
How they recycle numbers. You get someone's old number and they call you and they're like, oh, this isn't so-and-so. I feel like that's a number they can't recycle. They would get too many fake calls, so they might have just turned it off.
I wonder if he
permanently.
has the number trademarked.
That would be why. He probably does have that number trademarked. I can't believe it said user busy. It did say Atlanta, Georgia.
He probably is busy.
He probably is busy. Soldier Boy doesn't want to take our calls, guys. He's busy.
He's hanging out with Sammy. Sammy and Jim. But that's my commentary on the song.
That's great.
Less than 200 words, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. We hit the mark with
yeah.
200 words.
Numbers don't count.
Not when you're lawyers and podcasts. Numbers definitely don't count.
That brings us to our favorite lyric, no contact. Can you guess what mine is?
Please don't tell me this is the phone number. Okay.
I don't know if that was my favorite
Back
in the day, but right now I'm on a 6-7 kick. So right now it's my favorite lyric.
Okay.
And I mean, no context.
200 words or less and no context. So we are hitting all the marks.
What about you? What's your favorite?
You didn't even say it. You have to say it now.
My favorite lyric, just to be clear, is 678 999 8212.
And scene. My favorite lyric.
And Lauren's favorite lyric.
I feel like we
is,
should start guessing each other's favorite lyric. I feel like you could guess.
Kiss me through the phone.
It's not always the chorus.
I'm on a
I know this song, guys.
We'll just
You can be my Bonnie. I
on
can be
your
your
Clyde.
Clyde.
I wonder which part Jim wrote.
I feel like he wrote the na 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 na.
Come on, Jim's better than. No, that's actually it's a really iconic part.
It is
though.
a really
yeah.
iconic
I would say
part.
that's my second favorite. I could just do that all day. I have. Like recently.
No
Actually, I
context.
do technically have another commentary that is written
What?
down here that I forgot to
Okay.
say. Apparently, Soulja Boy is known as the first rapper to use FaceTime. I guess like in his music video.
You mean they were FaceTiming in the music video?
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently he used to make $100,000 a month off this song.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I wish I could do that. Maybe we should make a song and see how it does. And with inflation, we could make millions.
we should try.
I mean, obviously we'll have to use auto-tune.
Really, I thought we were going to be that good.
But
all
maybe
around.
Jim could reach out and
Hey,
write a song
Jim,
for us.
We would really prefer if you wrote a song for us so we can become famous.
And Sammy can be on it, and
we'll bring Sammy back.
we'll help each other out.
They'll be like, why'd Sammy come out of retirement? Just
Yeah.
so he can be on our song.
Do the raps, probably.
What are we going to rap about?
Like part 2.
Oh my God, whatever you like part 2. Do you think we get T.I. to sign off on that?
Maybe.
If we give him like 5%?
He might need more than that, but I don't know. Well, we'll need it more for
Yeah.
We'll have these talks.
Whatever you like part 2.
It's on the list.
T.I., reach out.
Officially.
Let us know if you're down. We're really fun. We can make it great.
Don't sue us.
And this is a disclaimer. We're just here for parody purposes.
Exactly. And commentary and discussion. You know,
Laughs.
that'll be our segue into the
Yeah.
next part, the discussion.
Let's go.
So, today's episode, don't read ahead. Okay.
Sorry, trying to see what was coming up, guys. I shouldn't have done that.
That's because sometimes when I write things, I want your real-time
I
reaction.
won't read ahead.
Thank you. Let's get to our main discussion today. Today, our episode topic is about smartphones and making out. Just kidding. It's only about the smartphone. But one of the subtopics we'll talk about is obviously how we use smartphones and dating and
Yeah.
everything. of
And making
course.
out.
And whatever you might want to do with the smartphone. For our discussion, the first question is I wanted to ask if you remember your life before smartphones and social media.
That was so much better.
Like, in what ways? I have a list for
Brittany's
that.
like, well, of course,
Well,
Brittany
you
has
can't
a
give me
list.
just a one-liner and an answer.
Well, that's the podcast.
I don't have anything to go off on. I
Yeah.
basically want to talk about the before and the after, and if you remember
Sure.
the transition period.
So, are we talking about just smartphone when we got our first cell phone, or?
Yeah. The first phone that you could make a video call on.
Oh, I don't know.
Because apparently FaceTime, it must have came out before 2008, or maybe during that time.
That would make sense if it came out that year, I feel like. But I definitely wasn't FaceTiming people back then. I was Skyping people. I Skyped
Yeah,
a
maybe we
lot.
should start with Skype, because that was the first thing.
Except it closed down now.
There was also something called Uvu or something. Do you
Uvu,
remember that?
yeah.
I liked that one. Skype was good, but Uvu, I think you could have more people
on.
Yeah, it was like you could do group Skype.
I used to use the Skype to take a selfie from my MySpace page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What was I doing back then, guys? Having fun, apparently.
But you know what's kind of crazy? You just reminded me, though, of when we did have MySpace. The fact that I feel like I had to upload pictures through my digital camera.
I had to
like
plug
with
my
the
digital
USB
camera into my computer.
into the computer.
Yep.
And that was how we got profile
Profile pictures.
which is nuts now that I think about it.
Because I had a pink
Because you
digital
couldn't
camera.
just take it on your phone
No,
and
upload it.
Like
you had to go through all
like,
the steps. It's crazy.
But it was more like a real photo shoot in some
It
ways.
was,
Like,
yeah.
But
I took
yeah.
that pink digital camera with me everywhere.
I had a
it
pink
everywhere.
one too. My first one was a pink one.
It's crazy to think back then. I don't know. I feel like we are probably one of the only generations that grew up without smart stuff. Then we kind of transitioned to growing up with it. Like eventually we got to a point where we had to start using it.
We're like caught in the middle.
We're in the middle. We didn't grow up with it, per se, and we didn't grow up without it per se.
We're like millennials.
Millennial. It's a really interesting perspective, honestly. I hadn't thought about it like that.
Oh, yeah. I think about this all the time, actually, especially when new technology comes out and I'm like, wow, I'm struggling with this. But also how many times I've had to help like my grandma or somebody with with simple things. I don't know. It's a weird feeling.
And I feel like sometimes I'm kind of caught in the middle because I do like to have like a good notebook and write things down.
I do too.
But then in law school, I would also have my laptop and take notes on that too, depending on whatever I was working on. I feel like we're caught in the middle a little bit.
I do feel nostalgic for those days too, because people will film videos on their phone for content or whatever. But I had a legitimate camcorder.
Me too.
Me and my friends would make videos and just of dumb stuff. And then one day somebody broke in and stole it. So somebody out there has just videos of us doing really crazy things. Yep. Unless if they just threw it away, which would make more sense. Like the tape part. I'm sure they pawned the other part.
I'm nostalgic for those days too, though. I don't know. Times just felt so simpler, easy. And I just remember if my friends wanted to call, they'd call the home phone. And I'd talk on my house phone. Guys, there were house phones prior to having cell phones. And I remember when I got my first cell phone, it was more for purposes of keeping in touch with my parents. And then, of course, it transitioned to, I guess, smarter phones as they came out. But I feel like this is a little bit of a controversial topic because kids these days won't understand a life without smart stuff. And so I do feel a little nostalgic for those days because they did feel more real and simpler, and you had more connection and you had to put in more effort. And although there's a lot of positives with the internet and social media and doing this podcast that we can do now, I mean, how would we do this back then? We'd set up our camcorder and record it and post it online. So there's a lot of positive things too, but I do feel like nostalgic for those times.
Do you remember struggling to learn how to use a cell phone or anything?
I don't.
I don't either. I feel like I didn't have anything else to do but to learn it.
Yeah, it was
because when you're a kid,
Yeah.
more time figuring those things out.
I just remember having a desktop computer at home at one point, and then using computers at school at one point, and then getting a cell phone. And then I had one of those slide phones that had the keyboard on it. I had one of those, and
We really loved our cell phones though.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like it was so exciting.
It was
when I first got my first cell phone, and then also when the iPhone came out, and I just remember being so excited about it because it was such a new thing.
I don't remember getting my first iPhone at all.
I do. It was like 3G or something when it first came out, I think, or maybe it started as something different. I remember I went to a church camp once and they had some kind of shirt that said something about 5G. Being in God's 5G network or something.
Dead.
Can you imagine?
No.
I should have kept that shirt for historical purposes.
Yeah. Do you remember what age you were when you got your iPhone?
Yeah, I was 14, I think.
Really?
Maybe older because I think 14 was actually when I got my Razor. No, it had to be younger than that, right? I don't know.
I think I was in middle school when I got my Razor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What year did the iPhone even come out?
Like 2007, I think.
But I remember they were really, really expensive back in the day, weren't they?
Yeah, it was definitely a Christmas present kind of thing. It wasn't like I just got a phone just because.
I love that pink Razor.
Yeah, I still have mine. It just doesn't work. I dropped it in a puddle. So.
Yeah, I dropped mine in the bathtub.
Why'd you have your phone in the bathtub? Were you talking?
If you haven't noticed, I can't shut up. So would that surprise you if I was just having a full conversation in the bathtub?
No.
No, I was actually waiting on like my best friend to call with plans. And of course, I didn't know.
You were getting ready.
And
wait, you didn't know that water would kill it?
No, I didn't know. It didn't cross my mind to make sure I wasn't near water.
Okay.
So I'd gotten out of the bathtub and the bathtub was draining. And I think I had set the phone on like the side of the bathtub. And she called and it vibrated and shut itself into the bathtub. And I was like, well, the phone's dead.
But at least when I had a Razor, we still had a landline too.
We still had a landline too.
Because actually one of the articles I was reading in preparation for this episode was talking about how we memorized numbers back then.
Well, yeah.
And how
no one knows anyone's number now.
Yeah. But it was funny because, well, not funny, but it's actually kind of scary because the article was just talking about the serious side of that and how it's affecting our memory skills, basically. So that's not good.
There was actually a crazy article I read that was like people who are in emergency purposes, they can't recite any phone numbers. And also people like go to jail. They get one call and they don't know anyone's number.
Yep.
Like,
that happened to someone I know.
Yeah. So I feel like it's crazy because back then you had to memorize phone numbers.
Right.
Now you just look them up in your phone. You share contacts with each other.
I still have the same number I've always had. My number has never changed for my cell phone. And people that are also in a similar situation that I still talk to, I still can memorize their numbers.
I caught myself, if someone's really important to me now, I will make sure I have their number memorized just in case. I do think it's an interesting perspective being a millennial. I think a lot of us struggle with, I guess, growing up with the times. We miss the old times. We are excited about the new times, but we're stuck somewhere in the middle of it all. It's hard to be a millennial.
It is. Another thing just about talking on the phone. Do you feel like that changed once we got cell phones or in any way? I mean, obviously with FaceTime, it's like different. I don't know. I just remember whenever I was on my landline, I would just call people and talk for hours.
Yeah.
But then sometimes the battery would die.
100%. You have to go charge your landline phone.
We had 2 phones for the
did too,
landlines.
yeah.
Like one would be charging.
Yes.
And then I would grab the other one
one.
and continue the conversation and just keep going back and forth like that. That was funny.
Did you ever do 3-way calls? Add someone?
And sometimes like, it was like Mean Girls too, where the other person didn't know somebody else was on the line.
Oh my goodness.
I've been a part of a couple of those conversations.
I feel like I've only been a part of those with guys.
There was a mixture because one of the times it was because we were doing a prank, but it wasn't anything mean.
There'd be times where my parents would be like, get off the phone.
Because that was the thing.
It.
Your parents could pick up the other phone and sit there and listen
Yeah.
to your conversations. I actually was in a relationship at one point where I think that was happening. Did you ever get like on the phone and then there would be somehow somebody's conversation coming through the waves?
I don't know.
That happened to me once. I don't know if it's a West Virginia thing.
Like someone else's conversation.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So I don't know. Something was happening with Jim Bob. I can't remember too much, but it kind of makes you wonder.
Landlines are a wild thing because it was finally a way you could talk to each other outside of being with each other. So I feel like that was a huge development back then. And then when cell phones came out, it's more the constant need of connection and communication. And it was like you could always be talking to someone then. But I feel like it was a lot of texting too for the first time and learning how to do that. But do you remember if back in the day, did you have cell phone minutes? Or like limit on any?
Yeah, I think once I did get a cell phone.
Wasn't it like after 9 p.m. it was free?
Yeah, there were certain rules depending on your provider. I think weekends, like something like that. It's been such a long time that I feel like we did get unlimited pretty quickly because we were on a family plan.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they offered it, I think that's what we did. And then it's just so funny for today. The kids have locations and they can track each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what that would have been like for us if we had that power.
I can't even imagine. Like back in the day, you'd have to like text your friend, go pick them up, go find out where someone was. It was a whole ordeal. Because I remember we used to pass notes around in school and like exchange landline numbers and stuff and talk later. But kids nowadays, they can just pick up their cell phone. They can FaceTime, call, text.
I think I still have this somewhere, but I had a list of all the people in my class and I would write their name and their phone number down. So it was kind of like an address book, but not officially.
I remember kids that were older than me in school, they did have address books where they would have kids' names, numbers, address. Nowadays, it's like you carry around a little computer with you.
Someone called it a pocket portal or something.
Which I guess has a lot of pros and cons because there's a lot of controversy online going on right now about if people our age have kids, where you're going to give them screen time, all the conversations of should they grow up how we grew up, should you just give them access to stuff super early? And so I just think we're a different generation.
Plus there's also I think the topic of parents that are on their phone too much, not really paying attention to the kids as well. So
it's addicting. Your phone can be really addicting. Someone was talking about a study being done of the constant need for interaction and attention and human communication. Like it's a good thing, but also it can become obsessive and whatever happens doing your hobbies or watching a movie by yourself or whatever. Nowadays it's like constant on the go with your phone or scrolling TikTok for 6 hours. It's just like back in the day we weren't scrolling TikTok. We were making home videos on our camcorders.
And then when YouTube came out, or even on MySpace, I feel like we would put videos up because you could put YouTube videos on MySpace. But anyways.
Bring back MySpace. I saw a TikTok. They're like, this generation is not cut out for the top 8. They would take it so personally. Back in the day, I mean, it was like survival of the fittest in the top 8.
I mean, I personally kind of like that the top 8 is gone just because it did cause some drama in my life. And then also people that would get mad at me. That was how they would show me. It was very passive aggressive. Oh, I'm taking you off my top 8.
I liked it.
Probably because you think it's fun to do that. Say my feelings got hurt. So too sensitive. I mean, I do like a good list, but you know.
You do like a good list. But I think that's my first excitement about this podcast was the idea of diving back into technology stuff because I would code my MySpace profile. It was so much fun.
I have no idea how to do that stuff now, but it was definitely a thing. Once we got to video calling, whenever we got FaceTime and stuff, do you remember your first FaceTime? Did you use it a lot?
I don't remember using FaceTime at all, really. I don't even really use it nowadays at all.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well,
that
really
is
like
true.
FaceTiming.
I don't know. I mean, I like FaceTime, but I know.
FaceTime.
Well, maybe that's secret. No, I'm just kidding. Well, it's funny, and I've told you this before, it's kind of corny, but when Tony and I were dating and we weren't living together, we would FaceTime a lot. And he would actually say, kiss me through the phone.
Even though you said he didn't remember.
Yeah, he didn't remember it, but it was cute at the time. It's fine. That was when he loved me. Now we're here. But
anyway, spam Tony. No, I'm just saying. His is.
But yeah, he's a real person, by the way. But
He's not a euphemism for anything. He's real. Supposedly.
I was going to say I do use FaceTime and then with my family back home and stuff too.
I guess as I moved around a lot, of course I've used FaceTime here and there, but I'm more of just to pick up the phone and call people because I'm always on the go. So like it's just easier for me to pick up the phone and call. But I honestly don't remember using FaceTime that much.
I don't know if I used it too much in high school though either. When I moved away, it became more.
And then I went to college, but I was just having fun.
That's a good thing. It's good to not be on your phone all the time.
I was also always someone who I never wanted to be the person who was on my phone all the time. I know that's like a weird thing, but one of my love languages is quality time. And so I genuinely enjoy putting my phone down. I think I've always been like that. And so although of course I love my phone and like a lot of people do, I never know where my phone is most days. And the amount of times it's been in the fridge is kind of wild. So I'm just not as attached to my phone.
I get exhausted by it though, especially if you don't see people every day trying to just maintain conversations with friends and make sure everybody's doing good. It can be a lot, especially because I feel like I'm so busy during the day too. And then in the evening, I try not to be on my phone too much, but sometimes it just is what it is.
Well, it's a good escape and it is definitely a distressor if you like find ways to distress. My legs are already falling asleep. We've been recording for that long. It's just we've been working out a lot. Being the generation who also went to college, got our jobs, went to law school, working 24/7 because we're attached to our phone and our computer 24/7. It became a real burnout for me. So I was always on my phone for work. Sometimes once work was done, I just didn't want to be on my phone anymore. So I do think pros and cons to both, but sometimes it's hard to turn off your phone.
But we do have other hobbies too, which I think helps. Because I think sometimes that may be the problem when people are on their phones too much. It's just they've gotten into that habit, which I'm guilty of too, because sometimes it's not even really about social media, but I'll just be on my phone because I'm doing the paint by numbers app, like my anxiety or something. I just get really into it. It kind of becomes addicting. I think anyone that maybe plays a game or something on their phone, it can be like that. I need to do better about that. That's my goal for 2026 because I feel like I have been on my phone too much in the evening time.
But I mean, also it's hard when part of your job and this podcast and everything is to be on your phone too and social media. So it's definitely a hard in between. But I feel like if I have a time like, okay, I'm setting my phone down at this time, it's a good goal. But all that to say is I don't remember a lot about FaceTime. Going back to your question.
Yeah, I think you and I have only FaceTime a handful of times over the years.
I did love FaceTiming your dad in New Year's. That was fun.
Yeah, I forgot we did that. Well, you know, it's really annoying is when people don't have an iPhone because then you can't FaceTime at all. And it's just like, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, nothing annoys me more than those green fucking bubbles.
Because on New Year's, I had to video call my mom through Facebook Messenger because she has an Android.
Your mom would have an Android.
Yeah, Mom.
Okay, Mom. Can we get you an iPhone?
No, because I've tried. She likes her Android. I don't know.
Is she trying to just prove us all wrong? She's taking a stance. Can she message us and let us know?
Yeah, let us know, Mom. What the deal?
What's the deal? Join us on the other side.
I still think the iPhones are so easy to work with. I have trouble understanding the Android. And you have to, whenever you unlock the phone,
little thing you have to draw.
You have to draw a fucking picture to get into your phone.
I'm not an Android person, guys. I'm sorry.
Literally with the iPhone, you just have to put your thumb on the little circle.
Well, you just hold my face up to it.
Yeah, you don't even have to use your thumb anymore.
I don't have to touch anything.
Literally just say open sesame. There it goes.
So should I leave that in?
I guess FaceTime only came out in 2010 with the launch of the iPhone 4.
Holy shit. We're up to the iPhone 17, right?
I think we're past that.
I just got the new iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's the 17.
Okay. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the iPhones and all their numbers.
But 2010. Okay. So I was in like 10th or 11th grade probably.
I was almost graduated from high school, which makes me feel really old.
We are really old.
And then once it came out on FaceTime with the iPhone 4, then obviously the iPads, the Macs, and iPod Touch. I forgot that even existed.
I love
the iPod Touch. I remember, I think one of my cousins, they were allowed to get an iPod Touch, but not an iPhone. And that was the compromise for younger kids, because they weren't allowed to make calls, but they were allowed to have something they could play games on.
I think my first
Did you have one?
iPod was pink too. They came in colors back then, didn't they?
Well, this is the iPod Touch that I'm talking about.
I know, but I don't know what the difference is?
They didn't have colors, I don't think, because they looked just like an iPhone 4, but they were just touches. They didn't have any SIM card or anything. You couldn't make calls on it. So the iPods, those were different colors. There was the iPod Mini, I think is what it was called. I got one that was red once, but also got stolen the same time that the video camera got stolen. Someone broke in our house, guys. It was awful.
Someone broke into your house and stole everything?
It was during high school. I came home and the door was open and my cat at the time was just sitting there staring in the doorway. And I was like, oh, like what's happening? And so I went in and thankfully no one was there still. But I noticed that a lot of the technology was gone.
Thankfully no one was there when you went in.
I think they also stole our Acer computer. None of this would make any money nowadays.
But like
back
then,
then it was the loot.
That was the shit back then.
I was really sad about the iPod though.
So all your shit got stolen.
Got pretty much. So they took my dad's baseball bat.
Seemed like trouble.
Well, we never figured out who it was. They put it in the bag and they ran off with it. I'm glad they left the cat, but you know.
Thank God they didn't bag her up.
Yeah. Guys, don't do that. It's very damaging.
Don't rob people? Yeah. I don't think our listeners need advice not to rob people, but if you do, Brittany says don't rob people.
Okay, but if anyone new here is just moseying along and they want to hear about
and
Jim
you're like listening
and
from Denmark,
I don't know.
Don't rob people. It's not worth it.
It's not nice. Okay.
If you want to be a Shawty, you have to be nice.
Yeah. You guys are missing out on a lot of really cool homemade videos because of that. Just since we're talking about the FaceTime stuff and video calling in general, it reminded me also of like Omegle or just those. Have you ever basically video chatted with a stranger?
Have I?
Yeah.
Define stranger. No, I mean
someone that you did not know before, like never met in person before.
Like recently or back then?
Back then.
Okay.
I mean, well, either, I guess. What are you hiding? Oh, God. No, I mean, because I feel like it was more common back then.
I wasn't video chatting with any strangers, but I'm trying to think if I know of anyone that was video chatting with any strangers.
I mean, I wasn't either. I'm just wondering because people do that now. And I see I'm on like the Omegle side of TikTok, I think. Or
where people pop up on the screen and they're like, they don't know each other.
My favorite ones are whenever the person speaks the language of the other person and they don't know it.
I've been on that side of TikTok too. Maybe we didn't grow up in that generation that was doing that. I don't know.
And actually, I have a story that I have to bring up. And it's been a long time since I thought about this, but it relates to that house that I was in when everything got stolen. So I might as well
just
bring
back
it up.
There.
So I did use Omegle growing up just for like fun. And I can remember it like it was yesterday because I was really scared. Because I was chatting on Omegle. I think I was on my landline too. While I'm chatting on Omegle with somebody random. And it was like a nice little chat. She said her name was Julia. We were just being friendly, right? And then all of a sudden, in all caps lock, they were like, I'm gonna come fucking murder you. I'm come from Australia and I'm coming over there to murder you, blah, blah, blah. And it like freaked me out.
Yeah, I've heard stories like this.
And then I was really scared I was gonna get murdered.
I mean, yeah, that shit's crazy. How old do you think you were?
I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore.
But that's still young for something like that. That'd be scary still.
I think I knew enough of the internet to be like, okay, it doesn't mean it's true. But at the same time, I was just
freaky,
like, they may have just been trolling before I knew what trolling was, but I was gullible.
Because technically that stuff was still new back then anyways. You know what trolling was, really.
Well, I think especially Omegle was like its own thing. It still is. I feel like there's nothing really quite like it.
So should we do that for TikTok is what you're saying?
I mean, I still think it's funny every now and then, but I've never done the video version of that. I've never been like brave enough really to do that. I was always afraid someone would just pop up and be naked. And
oh my God, yeah. Damn, true. That's so true.
Also, I think I told you this before, but we called, I mean, it was like as a joke, but we would call sex lines too.
Oh yeah, you did tell me this. No, I definitely wasn't doing that.
I don't know who came up with that idea and how they found it out, but we literally were just playing around the phone and this is what you did. And you didn't have anything else to do.
But like back in the day, our fun was going to the movies, going to the mall, or going to your friend's house and having a sleepover. That was the stuff we were doing.
I do wonder though how people learned about this.
I don't know.
Because it must have been somebody's search on the internet, because the thing is that I don't think it was in the phone book.
Probably not.
Because it was like 1-800-Brittany and you could call it and like somebody was like talking and it was an automated machine and we would just laugh at it. You had to pay to actually talk to the person, I think. Yeah. We would just dial in like random numbers and see who answered and prank them. I was really into prank calls.
Oh, we did a lot of prank calls too, but
have you seen that guy that does prank calls on TikTok? He like dresses as a grandma and he has a cigarette.
I have not.
I don't know the name, but I'll have to find it for you. But guys, there's this person. There's a couple of prank callers that like that's what they do on TikTok. Have you seen any of them?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm on that side of TikTok.
Well, you're more mature than I guess. I still
You'll
find
have
it funny.
to show me one.
Because people get so triggered.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. You'll have to show me one.
I will.
No, I saw that one where someone uses one phone to call one restaurant, someone uses another phone, and they put them together, and they're like, "What do you want? Well, what do you want?" And I'm like, oh,
I've also seen that when people do that with their divorced parents.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that.
I saw a TikTok on that once where their parents are divorced and one calls the mom and one calls the dad and they put the two together and they're like, why are you calling me? But then it was cute with one of them. It was like, you could tell there was still something there. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, what I will say is that I guess back in the day I wasn't FaceTiming with strangers, but they just brought back a memory that I went and lived with strangers.
Okay. Wait, what? When?
When I was younger.
That's even worse somehow. Did you run away? What happened?
So growing up, I'll have to find these pictures, but I obviously did youth cheerleading and my family was really into sports and stuff like that. So they used to have this program where you would ship your kids off somewhere and they would ship their kids off somewhere. And so I went to Canada.
Is it like a learning exchange type of thing?
Well, this wasn't a school or anything. I wasn't like learning anything.
So what did you do? Just cheer in Canada?
Well, yeah, I went and hung out with the people in Canada and cheered at their football games there. And I lived with a family there. We all got paired with different people. And so I was paired with a cheerleader and her brother who was a football player. And I lived with them. And then they eventually came back here and lived with me for a little while. It was awesome. I had the best time.
Oh, wow.
So no, I wasn't FaceTiming with strangers, but I was living with strangers. So
Oh, so you've lived in Canada.
I did live in Canada for a little bit.
And you just now decided to tell me?
I just remembered right now. You just unlocked a memory. I remember because I went towards like the end of the year, I think. And so they had gotten all of us all these presents, the different holiday stuff to show us all this stuff.
That's wild. Did they have any fun moose stories?
It's crazy though, because I do feel like Canada's kind of like a different world. 'Cause I think I went to Ontario.
When you say you got shipped, do you mean that they mailed you for real? How did you get
I
there?
went by myself.
Did you fly?
I must have flown. I think they were just like, here's your bag, go to Canada. And I was like, okay. It was like a cheerleader and football player exchange program. They used to do it. And then I think they stopped eventually, like years later. But it was really fun.
I'm kind of jealous I was never shipped anywhere. I mean, I went to science camp, but that was like voluntarily and nerdy. We're unearthing a lot here today. The time before cell phones. So you guys wrote letters to each other.
We did. It was my first like pen pal.
I remember those days. I remember whenever we were in elementary school when it was a thing, an assignment to write a letter to someone.
I remember that too.
I wonder what they do these days.
Would you ever get responses?
No.
Oh.
I think part of the problem was because my family and we moved, but maybe it was just lost in the mail. Yeah. In the snail mail. It was fun though. It was a fun little project. I think I had to write to the president at the time at one point. That was like a thing.
They were talking about how kids these days don't know cursive and so they can't sign their names and they don't know how to write cursive. I don't know. It's a controversial topic, I guess. Everything is these days, but whether kids should be learning cursive or not in school. But
such a big deal for us.
No.
Like it was such a huge deal. They were like, if you don't know how to write cursive, we started learning in the 3rd grade how to do cursive. And they were always like, you have to know this because
it was a huge deal.
This is how you're expected to write moving forward in your life.
Yeah.
And like, it was such a big deal. Little did they know that the iPhone was coming out.
Now I just write a line when I sign
all
something.
Of it is literally
not in cursive.
You could do italics now.
Yeah. I like writing my name in cursive. It's fun.
I do too.
But you don't need it. Just like the Pythagorean theorem or whatever that shit was called. We don't use that either.
I think maybe scientists use it. Well, we don't. I feel like, like a lot of that stuff, I think we could replace that with like practical skills. And then if somebody is interested in like
needs to know that
squares and stuff, they can just go
to school for it.
Go to square school.
Go to square school.
If you're into geometry, you should get either some specialized thing or like help. But the thing is, I feel like people that are good at math, they're already ahead of the game in all their math stuff.
I agree.
So it's like they might as well just do all the math that's specialized.
Go do that.
Know?
We don't want to do that.
And then I also wanted to talk about long distance relationships. If you've ever been in one that you had to do FaceTime or anything like that.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Have I ever been in a real long distance relationship?
Or a situationship, whatever.
I don't know. I feel like I spent a lot of time on the phone, but I feel like when I was dating people and stuff, when I was like younger in high school or whatever, we were Skyping a lot. but I don't know why Skype was such a big thing in my life.
Well, Skype was like a thing for, I think, getting a little bit, saucier.
Oh.
Maybe that's just me. But I mean, I feel like that was like...
Oh, I wasn't getting saucy on Skype, but...
Okay, never mind. just cut that out.
Wait a minute. Was Skype known to be saucier?
Maybe not. Maybe I thought you would just have the same experience I did.
No. I just didn't know.
No. I don't think it
was
is,
so
especially.
saucy
But I
than
mean, no, not more than FaceTime. But I
Okay.
think that because it was on the computer, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
Just ignore me. So, do you prefer sexting or talking dirty over the phone?
Oh, making out. Okay, anyway.
Moving on to the next question. Or if you go on Omegle still, you
Not
can just
that
log off,
I don't want the pics.
I can't even imagine, because that's never happened to me.
After you just said Skype with saucy.
Well, that was consensual. That was consensual sauce. Let's not talk about it, though.
No, we're keeping that in.
And that was only a one time. So I was just wondering if that was something
No,
that you
yeah,
ever did.
yeah.
But the long distance relationship, I feel
Well-
like, because it was for me as well. So I think that was another factor.
Now I'm thinking back. I'm really thinking hard, guys. I forgot I got shipped to Canada. But I do remember that time where I totaled my car. I was dating a guy who lived a few hours away from me. And so I was on my way to his place to like party for the weekend, and I totaled my car. Well, my parents didn't know I was on my way to his place.
They don't know. No, I'm just...
Well, they knew when I totaled my car, and I was like,
Oh.
hello? My car's in a snow ditch. They're like, where are you? I'm like 3 hours away.
Oh my God. They must have been pissed.
Well, I still went to his place.
Wait, so did he help you out?
Well, he came and picked me up.
Okay. And they got the car.
I towed the car back.
That's hilarious.
So I definitely dated like long distance, but I'm trying to think. I feel like most of the long distance people, I guess there was distance, but I was able to go see them. I guess I wasn't one of those people that dated someone that was like out of state, like long distance.
That makes sense. I've only had a couple long distance relationships. And one of them, it was only long distance for a year. Then we were together
Yeah.
the rest of the time. I have a whole spiel on that later.
Okay. Well, I don't trust people very easily. So my problem is if I can't know what you're doing, we probably won't be together. Because if you have 6 girlfriends, like that's a problem.
Yeah. Wait, so in a future, whatever, you're the type of person that's like, I need your location. Is that true? I mean, in this day and age.
I just like the men make it really hard for me to trust them. I feel like I say that, but I am a very trusting and giving person until you break that trust. And then it's like
Yeah.
hard for you to get it back, I think, once you break it. So I don't know. I think it shouldn't be a big deal if you want to share your location with your friends or your significant other. Why should that matter? But I do think long distance, you have to be in a long distance relationship with someone who wants to be in a relationship with you, because it takes a lot of time and trust, in my opinion, than being in a relationship where you can go see someone. Well, we were talking about last episode about like dating someone in Charleston that's like from Alaska. You know nothing about them.
Right.
And so I think it'd just be hard to date someone who's far away.
The only reason I ever committed to long distance was because I was dating the person before it was long distance.
Yeah, before it was.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah,
though.
it's like
Start
commit
off
to
that way.
I'll see you twice a year.
That's
Like
crazy.
I know a lot of people do it, and they're like, it takes a lot out of them.
It's not even for me. It's not even really about the trust part. I just don't like being apart from the person. I want to be in their physical presence.
Yeah. Well, quality time.
Yeah,
One of our love languages.
exactly.
So I think it's hard. But like
Ours, yeah.
ours. Tony's not real. No, I'm kidding. Tony's real. But no, I was just thinking about people whose love language might not be quality time. It's like for them, long distance, I'm cool with seeing someone once a month or something. Some people are okay with that. For me, it's like, no, I want to get to spend time with you. That's
Yeah.
important for me in a relationship, at least.
Same.
And plus, like, we're older now, and as fun as it is to date around in your 20s and stuff, dating someone long distance these days, it's just not as
Yeah, and
Practical.
we're at the age where we need the sauce in person.
the sauce in person for sure. Don't kiss me through the phone.
Exactly. Yes. This is all just like the point.
Remember, I like to be thrown around. No, just kidding.
We're getting way too saucy today. Apparently.
We're not drunk, by the way. Next week, it's gonna be like, do you have the sauce?
Yeah, the sauce. But
Anyways,
now let's go to our philosophical consideration.
okay, let's do that. Let's be holy. Continue.
I wanted to add one more thing about long distance relationships. Google AI, they have
Google
something
AI.
to say about long
Of course
distance
they do.
relationships, which apparently referred to as LDR. I did not know that.
Okay, I knew what BDE is. I didn't know LDR.
Yeah, see, I didn't know either. I thought BDE was best day
Day
ever.
It's not, guys. If you want to look
Apparently
it up.
it's not. Google AI was talking about long distance relationships before and after cell phones came into play.
How would you date someone long distance before a cell phone?
Well, I'm about to tell you. So, long distance before cell phones, they relied on costly landline calls because I guess they cost money I don't remember ours costing, but actually I didn't ever ask.
I was going to say, I don't think anyone ever told us.
We were kids, so we
Yeah.
didn't pay for it
No.
anyways. I may have to ask
It kept
my
us
parents
quiet,
about that.
so I feel like they were just like, okay.
Well, they were using it too. They relied on handwritten letters and care packages, fostering deep communication and anticipation, but requiring significant effort and expense.
A lot of effort.
And after cell phones, it became more instant with texting, video calls, social media. And so it's constant connection was possible. But hold on, guys. I fell off the sentence.
Fell off the wagon, and we're back.
It was just more constant. So it reduced cost and anxiety about needing to know where somebody is. But then it also had more challenges like fubbing. Have you heard of that term? It's a new term for me too. So fubbing, guys.
Like fucking up?
No.
Okay.
So fubbing it's PHUBBING. If you ever want to go to a spelling bee, that's how you spell it. And I was learning a lot of new vocab in my research for this episode. So apparently fubbing is the practice of ignoring one's companion or companions in order to pay attention to one's phone or other like mobile device.
Oh, I'm going to use this all the time now.
It's called like phone snubbing, but they call it fubbing.
Fubbing.
So
Quit
apparently,
fubbing around, damn it.
you gotta fub the numbers. There's that like distraction.
Okay.
There's a whole freaking article about
Okay.
fubbing and
course
how to
there is.
avoid it and all these
Okay.
things. And I'm like, wow.
I will say one of my biggest pet peeves, and I'm just going to share this with the whole world, but nothing pisses me off more than if I'm having a full conversation with someone and you're on your phone, or
Yeah.
I'm like dating someone or having a conversation with a significant other. And like, I swear to God, there are times I just want to take that phone and throw it out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Because I get it, we can all multitask, but sometimes it just annoys the piss out of me, to be honest, because your phone really can become like a thing in a relationship sometimes, and it can cause a lot of problems depending on the communication about making sure you have that phone time away. But also you mentioned about long distance relationships and about care packages and stuff. And I started thinking to myself, back in the day, that must be why, like, no man's ever going to reach that level ever again. Nowadays, a man doesn't even know, like, my favorite color is. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty obvious, I think. Nowadays, it's, like, hard to pay attention to details. It's just different than it was back then. So that's really interesting that you said that. But I would love to go into fubbing.
You would like to go into fubbing?
Well, you're going to tell me about it.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like you want to fub me.
You know, that's for later, not for on the podcast. This isn't OnlyFans yet. It's not illegal either.
Should have not brought the sauce today, I guess. I mean, but I feel like I'm guilty of fubbing, and also I get fubbed.
100%. It goes both ways.
Even though we've had the experience of not having cell phones, we have definitely gotten used.
We have.
And then you can get in the portal.
You will.
One of the things the article said was that fubbing is kind of ironic because you're ignoring the person you're literally next to, but then you're connecting with something on your phone. It could be another person or whatever. So it's just kind of
It is ironic.
weird how that works.
It's funny because there's two things I've always said I won't compete with. One is another woman, and the second one is a phone. Like
ChatGPT.
Yeah. For real though, I'm not trying to compete with that shit.
It is so frustrating that, like what you were saying, having somebody not even respond.
Yes.
When it's to the point where they're not even
But that's
responding.
what I mean. That's what I mean. Because I have seen it get to that point before where it's like they're not listening at all, and you can tell.
And what if they like fub you and then they put their phone face down? When you finally get their attention.
Okay, I don't know what side of TikTok I'm on, but I'm getting served these TikToks. There are a lot of these women being like, yeah, it's a red flag if a man puts their phone face down. And I'm like, see?
Yeah.
See, it's a red flag.
It's because we talked about it on the podcast.
Well, my phone knows.
But apparently they're charging or saving battery, according to my dad. But, you know, he fubs around too. They did a study, kind of what you were saying earlier, about what fubbing does to us.
Okay.
Apparently the study was called "My Life Has Become a Major Distraction from My Cell Phone." I feel like just that sentence alone, people can relate to that for sure. But apparently it's especially prevalent, the issue in like romantic relationships, the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with and everything. According to their study of 145 adults, fubbing decreases marital satisfaction, in part because it leads to conflict over phone use. Obviously, that makes sense, but it affects the partner's depression levels and satisfaction with life. I guess maybe it just lowers everybody's self-esteem if you're being fubbed. It's kind of the new rejected.
Well, I agree.
Or
Does
neglected. Apparently, guys, if you fub, you may be making your partner depressed.
But you should think about that.
Yeah, you should really think about that, men.
Welcome to the PSA of the day. Someone said we give a PSA in every episode, so welcome to our PSA.
What is the PSA again? What is the actual like slogan we're using today?
Sure we're not drunk?
Never fub.
You said like you should think about something could affect your significant other's
Depression,
mental
levels.
health.
Yeah, their mental
and like
health.
your relationship in general.
and their feeling of self-worth.
and their feeling of self-esteem.
like you said, you don't want to be second to a phone.
I will never ever compete with someone's phone. I will literally leave the room. I'll be like, when you're ready to stop fubbing around.
See, if you can take anything away from today, it's that fubbing is a new.
It's a thing.
It's a new thing.
along with sauce
It's a new vocab word that we're going to be using.
from here on out.
Sauce is slang. If you don't know for what, that's good.
If you don't know what BDE is, we're all good.
Yeah. LDR, you can know.
If someone just listened to this clip, they'd be like, what?
We're talking in like code. Point.
But I do like learning a new term. And I
Yeah.
do think it's really interesting to even just talk about it and share with people, because I'm sure a lot of people don't know about that. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to use in their households now. I think we might have created something. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of messages being like, oh yeah.
Fubbing is real.
And people are going to replay this clip for their significant others. Be like, see, it's
Yeah.
really affecting our relationship. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking tell them.
The person that wrote this article was fubbing while they were writing it.
I mean, they did a good job, I think. Well, I don't know. You read the article.
Not really. I just kind of looked at it. Because another thing it was talking about is, at least with the person that you're with, if you're on your phone, you can't read their facial expressions.
Yeah.
Because just because someone says something, obviously the other things matter. And I think that's why long distance relationships don't always do the best either, without FaceTiming or something.
See, I'm a really like fuck around and find out kind of person.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I'm about to tell you. So one of the ways I like to just like fuck around with people is if you're on your phone, I know you're not listening, I'll say something like the most wild, unhinged shit ever just to see your reaction. And if
Yeah.
I get no reaction, I'm like, okay, I'm obviously being fubbed. And I'll just leave the room. And then be like, well, why'd you leave the room? I'm like, I just said the craziest shit ever. You had no reaction, so obviously you're listening to anything I was saying.
You're like, I was
know?
shipped to Canada when I was a child.
Did you know this about me? Well, that was real.
No, but you would think there would be some type of
Yeah.
reaction to that. Have you ever done that to me?
No, but you don't fub me.
I feel like I don't mean to if I do, but because of my ADHD that I have not been diagnosed with, but I'm convinced I have, sometimes I do get distracted.
But usually if you're on your painting app, you're still listening to me.
Oh, yeah, it's different. I don't think I do that with any of my friends, to be honest. The only thing I'm guilty of is doing it in my relationship, like just when we're on the couch and I'm trying to end my day. It's more of a decompression thing, but I feel bad. But I get fubbed too. It's a mutual fub.
It's a mutual fub. I feel like that's a lot of relationships, mutual
Fubbing
fub.
is a two-way street. Maybe everybody should take a shot every time they
We say fub, so take a shot every time.
find me in the fub.
It's me through the fub.
I just wanted to make sure
That's
that
what I
I wasn't
figured. You
missing
didn't say
anything in the fub
anything. Yeah.
sauce.
Fub sauce. Now we're combining two words.
They did a study and it was called Fubbed and Alone. So I thought that was
Oh
funny
my-
because they were talking about how when a person is fubbed, they feel neglected and then they end up turning to like social media or something for validation. And so they said it's a vicious circle that
It is.
the person that's fubbed goes to social media and then start to get confidence from there, but then they start fubbing others because they're too focused on their social
The
media.
media.
Wow.
I feel like I've heard a lot of stories about that, though. I think that speaks a lot to relationships that turn into like roommate ships when you seek attention outside of your relationship because you're not getting it. I think fubbing can always be a part of that, though, because a lot of people spend more time on their phone than focused on their relationship. In the first year, it's so exciting. And then after that, you got to keep it going. You got to keep the spark alive.
It can be a really selfish act, or maybe
Yeah.
it always is. I mean, sometimes I use it to just cope with life.
Sometimes
like I don't
use
mean it selfishly,
to
but-
get out of my headspace that I'm currently in.
And also, if you live with your partner and stuff, sometimes you just don't feel like talking. It's not like anything personal. That's just how I feel in general because I did live alone for a while. Some days I just got used to like being in a bubble.
100%.
So,
I think a lot of people can relate to that, though.
how to stop fubbing, people.
Put your phone away.
To prevent fubbing, guys, awareness is the only solution. Check yourself for fubbing.
Do you ever check your screen time?
I don't recently. No, don't
Yeah.
do it. No, because it's hard. I do use my phone for work. I also do spend a lot of time. I'm just on my phone. I really am. It's not necessarily the same thing all the time.
Back when I was working 24/7, I found myself then I would just decompress by being on my phone a lot. So I kind of started putting the lock. So after 2 hours, let's say on Instagram, it locks down so I can't go back on the app the rest of the day. So I used to do that for almost, I don't know, a year or so. And I feel like it really helped me a lot, realize how much I was on like doom scrolling or something. Because I am on my phone a lot for work.
Sometimes I think my phone exaggerates my screen time. I'm just because it just can't be right. There's something going on with that. They're just trying to make me look bad. There's also a section on what to do if you are fubbed. So the fubbers, you need to be more aware. The fubbed, you need to have patience and compassion. But it is saying that you may need to understand that the fubber is not being malicious in their intent.
Which we
Sometimes
talked
they're
about.
just really depressed.
Which we talked about.
Yeah.
Well, there's two sides to every fub. You know?
We need to put that on a t-shirt. The duality of fub.
This merch is going to be fire.
We're going to have a whole fub line.
There's going to be people in fucking Denmark wearing fub shirts.
Honestly, maybe we should start a support group for those who have been fubbed.
Under the whatever you like umbrella, we're going to start a fub support group. Text me if you want to join.
Yeah, text Lauren. I think we can move on from the fubbing, to be honest. Now, the last discussion question I had, it's a philosophical consideration. What do you think life would be like without FaceTime or anything that's advanced? And do you think there should be a limit on how far we go with those things?
You want me to start?
Yes, I asked you. Oh, well, another thing I said, has human connection been lost in the sauce?
Lost in the sauce.
Not that kind of sauce. Although, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Superficial.
I've had some people in my life tell me this before. Maybe I was born in like the wrong generation or something, because I try so hard not to be like this, but I am so old fashioned when it comes to certain things. I am more like pick me up, take me on a date, hang out in person. Yeah, sure, the phone's great, but I'm a horrible texter. I'm a horrible responder. Once I'm in person, it's so fantastic, but there's something about which I'm getting better at it. I don't know, just the phone to me is not that great of a thing. So I just don't love it that much. It's a way of connecting, but I know that's the way the world is. So I feel like my opinion on this is going to be like what's it called? The unpopular opinion. It's just not my thing.
I think it's really hard because I think we as people value that connection with others, but we also live in a capitalist world where it's like we're so busy. On the one hand, I would love to just hang out in person, but then I don't know. I also need my downtime. So sometimes it's convenient to be able to like, hey, let me just FaceTime you really quick.
But I think I had to learn that that's also a way to connect with people. It's also a way to build those relationships, even though it might not feel like natural for some people to do it that way.
I personally like it. I do think there's a limit though. I'm kind of scared of these little robot human dog things. Have you seen those?
There's people. Yeah, there's robot human people.
And then I also saw a dog in Florida, like a robot dog running into a grocery store. Now, I don't know if that was AI, is the crazy thing. So I had to Google it because, things just pop up on my feed. The police robot dog, hear about that?
I know,
story?
but I've seen these things online.
So I'm terrified of those types of things.
There's like a big wait list for the like assistant robots that they're building to have a robot be your assistant.
I think I've read too many sci-fi books. And
the robots are going to take over.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point. One way or another, this world's going to.
Maybe the aliens will save us from the robots. Robots versus aliens.
We are 9 days into 2026 and anything is possible, I've learned so far.
Yeah.
It's a shit show
What
out
a
there.
shitty year.
I'm ready to return it. I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be like, wow, that makes sense. How do you feel about it in your philosophical question?
Well, I think that life would be, I don't know what life would be like. I feel like if it hadn't been this, it would have been something else, like something else created.
Totally agree.
I'm not unhappy with it. I just want it to slow down a bit. Or I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like they're getting out of hand. But maybe I'm just old now. I've also never been the person that like, oh, I need the newest technology.
I've never been like that either. It's the same MacBooks for years.
Yeah, I just got a
Me
new
too.
MacBook.
Just got a
like,
new one.
The thing is that frustrates me. It's like I have to get it because they don't anymore. So that is frustrating. But I will say I'm like an Apple slut. I love like all Apple stuff.
Same.
I don't know. I appreciate it, but I don't feel the need to once a certain new phone comes out to go ahead and get it.
I agree. And I will say, I think AI is a little controversial, like ChatGPT and stuff. So I was just thinking about it the other day. Someone asked me, how do you think law school would have been different if you guys had ChatGPT or if you had AI, or how would college have been different? And I thought that was an interesting question. And it's crazy because I've known so far 2 lawyers already who have had bar complaints against them for using ChatGPT to write their stuff, like actually write their stuff.
It's a big issue, I think, at the continuing education thing for lawyers. They were talking about it last year even. They had a whole seminar on it, and I'm pretty sure it's included in this year's convention. So it's definitely being talked about. But the seminar I went to was very pro, like ChatGPT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think there's pros and cons to everything.
It's interesting. I personally don't think I would have ever used it in law law school just because I've always liked to write my own. Now to look up a question or something, maybe.
I know some people who are in law school. And I'm just thinking back, and they were talking about how they're doing externships and how they don't know how to research without asking ChatGPT, because they're like, hey, what case law should I look up for this? Or how should I cite that? And ChatGPT is smart, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely, obviously nothing's perfect. But there's a lot of people who I guess are just having trouble with the hard skills, soft skills. I don't know. Love law school.
We should ask it later how not to phub.
Oh my God. Let's do
Just
it.
to get its perspective.
Let's do it. And let's post to TikTok.
But like I said, I'm not down with the robot dogs. I mean, maybe a robot cat, like just as
Could
a
you
pet.
imagine if like a robot lived in your house?
Well, one does, a little robot.
Yeah.
But the robots that live here, they don't talk or move. So that was the main discussion. I did want to say just a couple little things. For TV, entertainment and stuff, it was like scheduled programs. I remember also recording certain programs.
I've
Like you couldn't
recorded
be at
things.
home. And then even the music that we got, it all came from CDs and cassettes. It didn't come from like, well, for you, LimeWire, but yes. And so it wasn't as easily accessible either.
Did you have those when you would call someone? Did you ever have a callback song? Like when it would ring?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I had one, but I remember that.
Yeah, I would
being a
pay for
thing.
them. I'd be like 9 cents, and it would be like, kiss me through the phone.
Yeah.
And you would call someone.
I wish he would do more stuff like that.
Yeah, it was so
It was like, yeah, you
fun.
could call somebody, and as it's ringing, it was playing a song. Yeah.
And I would always have fun changing up my voicemails and stuff. Oh my gosh.
I would do that too.
Wow.
I had
so
a lot of fun with that. Do you remember making your voicemail be like, hey, and then be quiet?
Yes.
So people thought you were
You're
answering, and then you would be like,
haha, I got you.
yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days. Wow.
But now you can't do it because employers like will call you.
It's not as fun anymore, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it.
Have a day.
Have a day.
That's a great way to sign off an email if you need a good one and your boss is pissing you off. Say, have a day.
Or your landlord.
Or anyone in your life, the person
Yeah.
phubbing you.
That'll also be on the merch. Another thing I saw on TikTok that just reminded me of this, also another point about like before cell phones, how kids were just outside all the time and not being watched.
Oh, yeah.
Like I got to run away and stuff.
I was always walking to my friend's house, walking back, riding bikes.
And my parents didn't have my location. They just had to be scared.
They're like, be back by 8. And I was like, okay.
Do you think if you have kids, if you'll make them do the Life 360?
Probably, yeah. The world's too sketchy these days.
Yeah,
Honestly, it has
that's
nothing to
true.
do with the kids. Because I feel like
It's not that the
world-
kids aren't
yeah.
trustworthy.
they'd go with their friends and come back because I feel like we'd be good parents. But it's the world being as different as it is today as it used to be back then.
Maybe become even more dangerous with the technology
Yeah.
advancement.
Did you see that talk where the lady like takes food outside and she parks her kids outside? She's like, okay, stay out here all day. I'll see you later. We used to do that and come in if you're dying. Other than that, don't come inside.
I do remember a lot of alone time as a child. It was
Same.
not like there was no helicopter
No.
parenting happening. But I also stayed indoors more than I stayed outdoors. I would go outdoors, but that was like, it's too hot out here.
I had a trampoline outside, so me and my friends were always on the trampoline.
See, I got pushed off a trampoline. And I think even though I like trampolines, going outside wasn't worth it for me. I would just get hurt.
So should we go to a trampoline park?
No.
Your birthday plans are ruined now.
So, guys, I have a list. There was this BuzzFeed article on people over 30 are discussing the days before smartphones and how it sounds
Okay.
much better. So this is a list, though. It's
Okay.
like a one-liner. We can just go it through it
Yep.
really quick.
I'm ready.
Number 1, the days before smartphones, there was no video evidence of all the stupid stuff we did as teenagers. So that's a bonus for people.
That's so true.
You couldn't just like pull out your phone and record. It was
Yeah.
just you had to talk about it at school the next day.
All the crazy shit that happened.
Would either believe you or not.
Nowadays, employers do a social media check. It's interesting because I would be a part of some of those hiring processes, and some of the shit that's on social media, I'm like, oh my God. So now when people ask me for advice, I'm like, can you review your social media before you
Yeah.
start applying to some of these
Yeah.
big jobs?
I kind of miss those days, though.
You
You
never
could just
had to
say
worry.
whatever you
Yeah.
wanted.
And it wasn't being recorded or anything. It's different these
It's
days.
different.
Yeah.
So we've been very sheltered. Or, I don't know, put down by the man.
We have been put down by the man. That's why we're doing this podcast.
After years and years of having to push it all down. Here we are,
Sure.
sauce.
and pumping and Skype. Anyway.
Yeah, Skype sauce. So number 2, house parties with no phones were so much better than being within the lens of a dozen cameras. It's kind of like the same thing. People can't record you. Although at the same time, on the flip side of that, it's like now people can have evidence if something really is bad.
there's a lot of, oh, I saw your man making out with some other girl, and it's, oh, now you can have a video, a picture. There's evidence everywhere, rather than just like a one word versus someone else's word. I'll say like the nostalgic memories. Sometimes I wish I could go back and relive them for a minute of, oh my gosh, how fun it was back then. Those were the days. Let's go back there. Let's get rid of 2026.
So another one on the list is that this person said that she misses being bored.
Okay, I can see that though.
When we were bored growing up, we had to figure out ways to entertain ourselves, basically.
That's why I like being off my phone, because it makes me learn something or think about something that, I don't know, honestly, I feel like it makes me feel better for whatever reason rather than being on my phone a lot of the time.
Another person said, I miss not being required to respond right away, and then that they feel like they're expected to be on their phone all the time. That's a drawback for sure. Just feeling kind of pressured.
I struggle with that because it's really hard to set boundaries. Obviously it depends, but it is really hard to set them sometimes because we're all really busy and you want to respond, but it's hard to do it all. It's hard to do it all sometimes.
I think people, for the most part, give the benefit of the doubt in those situations because it's usually not directed at you.
Just because I am one of those people, I would say it's literally 0.001% it has anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Like, I truly mean that.
Another thing is that they miss the days before our lives revolved around social media, which is pretty obvious. I think we all can understand that. Some of these are things we've already talked about. Like number 6 is just talking about appreciating the technology, but missing that human to human connection.
If anything, I think it goes to show you, like, even the BuzzFeed list, all of the things we talked about are pretty similar because I feel like these are all the consensus of the topic.
Another person said that they miss being able to drive down the road without being scared of a car wreck because other people were on their phones.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of people on their phones.
It's kind of surprising, too, because even in the age of Bluetooth connecting to the cars, I still feel like I see people actually having their phone up. Or
100%.
texting is a really big issue.
I think we've gotten that habit.
I literally can't because I don't know what it is about me, but anytime that I'm not looking straight, there's a risk I'm going to swerve. Well, I just cannot keep it straight. So I cannot text and drive. Somebody said that they don't always want to be reachable.
And did I write this? No, I'm just
But I mean, I get that for sure. We have things like do not disturb or whatever.
I think everyone always wants to be reachable. I think it's back to what level of reachable.
And just like on a day-to-day,
everyone.
like emergencies is one thing. Yeah. And then somebody said that they slept more and better. I couldn't believe that because that is what keeps me up. And half the time, I don't do something good for myself during that time. I'm just like on my phone.
Honestly, I think I get more stressed out then. And then I can't shut my brain off at all.
And then I'm like, but then how do I wake myself up in the morning without my phone? So I guess we get the old-fashioned alarms.
Clocks for me.
And then they'll go off in the middle of the day. Tony brought one home from his store.
Yeah, fake Tony. He brought one home from his store.
He brought an alarm clock home and plugged it in because he wanted to, for some reason, use that. And then the next day, I thought it was like the house was on fire or something. What is that? It's this freaking alarm clock from fucking 1927.
Like, unplug it?
Yeah, I unplugged it because I thought I turned it off. And then it happened again. And so then I finally unplugged it and threw it in the next room. No, he hasn't asked about it. Another thing they mentioned that is important, I think, is concerts. Because it's kind of a double-edged sword because I've been to concerts where I do have my phone out a lot of the time because I like want to save the memories. But I feel like I do enjoy it more when I'm not on my phone. And then also whenever you're on your phone recording, pretty much the whole audience is doing the same thing as well. So like you just see everybody's screen.
Now, I sit here and I watch our concert videos all the time and I like live through them. So there's a double-edged sword.
Someone said they missed not knowing what everyone was eating for lunch. I remember when that was a thing.
I remember when that was a thing too. Mukbangs were fun though.
That's pretty much it for the list. Let's go on to the third segment then. We covered a lot of ground here. So really the third segment is our little friendship check-in.
Okay.
We could just do something random. I feel like you kiss me through the phone a lot actually because you're always like.
I love that though.
She blows kisses. Do you do that with everyone?
Only with special people, not with everyone.
So
definitely not with
But you definitely kiss through the phone then.
I definitely kiss through the phone. Kiss me through the phone. I feel because growing up, this is really random, but I feel like I always signed a lot of things like XOXO Lauren. I don't know. I was always one of those people. And so I just love like cute emotional stuff. Really sappy. That's really sad.
No, it's sweet.
But I'm just such a personable and sappy person that, my therapist would say I have problems, but
I don't think that would be what she's referring to, but
well, it's deeper than that. You know what we should do for the check-in? We should look up that song.
What song? Y'all Trick Out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many H's are in there.
No, the
but-
only story I could think of is my crazy ex who cheated on me. How I found out, did I tell you on the podcast that I found out through email?
Didn't you look at his emails?
But isn't that like wild that
That it was
the
the
way
email.
he was cheating on me was they were communicating via email? That's insane.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's like, no, they would just use text or disappearing snap or I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
the shit these children
I think
use.
some people do still use email because they think that nobody's going to check the email.
Oh, wow. We're gonna listen to the song. Wait, why is the guy mowing the grass?
I don't know. I've never seen this video, I don't think.
It has 48 million views. Oh my god, he's playing Soulja Boy. Yeah, trick, yeah.
Oh. Hey, Soulja Boy.
Yeah, trick, yeah. Yeah, trick, yeah.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face. Get out of my face. And your friend. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I feel like we need to do a whole episode on this one. Season 2.
Okay.
We have our closing
Oh, yeah.
arguments and stuff.
I'm just wondering what the most popular ringback song was in the mid 2000s. I'm in love with a stripper. I was not expecting that, but okay.
I think I knew somebody who had that actually.
Lips of an Angel,
Okay.
Sexy Back. I
Okay.
was just curious what the top songs were. I just have a lot of nostalgia stuff from back then.
Well, so no funny stories about smartphones that you think?
No.
I actually have a couple. They're not me, but they're about my dad. He's gotten so mad at his phones before he has an iPhone. He's thrown them from the top of a building into a bush. And like he's thrown his phone a lot. And
So he's anger problems? Is that what you said?
are you okay? Stop throwing the phones.
It's because he leaves it face down.
I don't know what
He's
it
a lot of
is.
problems.
What him and his phone, you know.
What kind of relationship they have?
They have a fubbing
They
relationship.
have a fubbing relationship.
Some people are in love with the fub. We can do our closing arguments.
Yeah,
And
let's do it.
as usual, Lauren,
Words or less.
200 words or less, like in the text bubble. Text me your closing argument, please.
Can I voice chat you? Voice memo?
That'd be
your
crazy,
argument?
though. Maybe we should have done that for this episode. Just totally fubbed each other.
And just texted each other the whole
Yeah,
time?
well, it is funny because the other day I fubbed Lauren hard because we were pulling up for our spin class and I was in my car trying to send her a snap and she usually comes and sits in the car with me before we go in and she pulled up and I told her to hold on a minute, but I just like did this and she got offended, but it's fine.
I've never had Brittany give me the hand before.
Because I was
ever
like,
in our friendship.
because I was really excited about sending you this joke and I couldn't just do it in person. I'd already committed to like the picture and everything. And so I was like really needing to finish it before you came in. And then Lauren ignored me for like the next 5 minutes. And I was like trying to get her attention with the headlight. And then I finally had to call her because she was fubbing me at that point. She was like, I'll fub you harder. It's fine. We're over it. But my closing argument is
I like a challenge.
Brittany and Lauren's fub off. Check it out on
I'm too
OnlyFans.
competitive for all that. Yeah, we're the sauce. Wait, where's the
Yeah.
tip jar? Get it? Aw.
It doesn't do it right.
But say you have to subscribe to the sauce, we got a tip jar. You can just tip us instead. So
Yeah.
feel free to Venmo
We give you
us.
tips, give us
We give you
tips.
PSAs.
And
you
you
give
give
us
us tips.
So my Venmo is just
Yeah.
search Lauren, you'll find me. And we take all forms of tips.
If you want to do snail mail, you can snail mail us.
snail mail us if you're old fashioned.
Yeah.
You can Venmo
mail,
us,
write us a
check.
letter.
We can take a check.
Invite Lauren to your home.
Yeah.
We'll ship her.
You paying?
Let's just conclude it. So 200 words or less. What was your feelings about today's episode?
I miss the old days. No, I feel like I'm now gonna go down like a nostalgia rabbit hole just to like relive the old days.
I thought this episode was great.
I was about to say that and I thought you'd yell at me. I should ask ChatGPT how other ways I can say this episode is great.
Speaking of Kiss Me Through the Phone and like AI and ChatGPT, I think there's like a thing where people are falling in love with their ChatGPT. Do you think anyone's kissed ChatGPT?
Yeah, probably.
That's crazy.
I mean, that is crazy.
It's also just these robots are becoming people and dogs.
Well,
you
the
know?
thing is they're like training them to be the most ideal person. So yeah, I mean,
So why wouldn't you want to
so
kiss
I
that?
think someone's gonna
guess?
marry a robot at some point. I wonder if anyone's ever asked ChatGPT to marry them. That's wild.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever y'all want to do out there.
If you want an AI, if you want a Bitmoji, you know. So that's the conclusion.
And thank you for coming to the podcast. Tune in next week for more songs.
And stay tuned for Whatever You Like Part 2,
yes,
produced by
the
Jim.
And give us some tips for the tip jar. And how drunk are you for taking shots?
Replay this. Tell us how fubbed up you are. Let's get fubbed up. We'll have to do that as an ad lib in our song. Yeah, we're getting fubbed up. You can have whatever you like. It's on my lip.
Wow, this song is gonna be fucking magical. You just wait. But you think the merch is gonna be fire? This song's gonna be fire.
It'll be 200 words or less. That's the only parameters we're using. Jim, that's the only thing. Put number numbers don't count. Thanks for
listening.
hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out with us. And
For our shorties, have a great day.
day.
For anyone else, have a day.
Shawtys, like and subscribe to our podcast on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
And put your notifications on.
For us, and make all of your friends subscribe too.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll tune in next week. All right.
We did it.
Peace.
Oh, peace.
I kiss you through the phone.
I'm going to say closed off to the sauce. My sauce days are over.
Why?
I don't know.
Never came up with a sauce.
Yeah, that's true.
The sauce is fun. Sorry, I can't get up.
I've fallen on that cake. And I need some water. Are we on to the honky tonk?
I mean, for the plot.
Thank you for listening to the Whatever You Like podcast, available on Spotify and Apple platforms.
Please follow our socials on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for additional content. Your support means the world to us, and it'll also keep us from creating an OnlyFans page.
We also would love to talk about whatever you like, so please visit our website to submit topic ideas, suggestions, or stories you want us to discuss.
Thanks, shorties. You the hottest. Peace.